Again, more people, according to VAERS, have died after getting the shot between late December of 2020 and last.
All right, y'all. It's Shay Seeking, and we're back today with another video. And this time we're going to be going into talking about this here vaccine because, again, I don't want it to seem like I don't still somewhat focus on some of the things that are going on in the world. Because you guys have seen me go through some form of a spiritual transformation, and I've been focusing on that for a while. But it's a whole bunch of things about these vaccines. Again, I've been hearing what people saying, and it's kind of like I think really important for us at this time to focus on and pay attention to. Um, Almost just because I've witnessed myself like this type of zombie or herd like mentality, um almost as if some people can sense you know what I'm saying, or maybe even getting some forms of downloads about who is and who isn't. And it reminds me of that show They, when it shows those people just standing out there looking strangely at that family. And and I think like in my situation, just being very intuitive, being someone that I would consider to be a targeted individual. Again, I don't, and then also someone that is a protected individual, someone that there are beings and entities here that are here to protect some of us, because they know what time it is, right? And so, I don't know, it's like a serene, kind of like a slow mo kind of, I don't know, like even the other day when I went to the park, it's just like almost like, I don't know. It was an eerie feeling. That's the word I want to use. Very eerie. And so, I want to talk about how, like, we talk about stop the spread, but like people are taking the test, I would imagine, still. And there's videos out again, of people showing these particular swabs that are being used, and that they have something in them that seems to be magnetic or living, or some type of fibers that are questionable. We'll say that. Um, and then you also have people thinking or saying that there are, again, I'm never here to tell you what it is or what it ain't. I'm simply sharing what it looks like to me. But that there might be some form of, we'll just say, uh, nanos in these things, which are small particles, right? And again, who knows what, right? Because everybody's not a scientist. And again, we can only know what they tell us. And we can then use discernment to see if we want to believe it, or if it sounds true, or if it's something that you want to do. So I got to thinking about that. So with the vaccine, I mean, ooh, see, I wasn't supposed to say it. With the vials going around, with the particles that are in the Q-tip or the swab, with the fact that supposedly fruit is supposed to be able to be tested positive, and animals are supposedly tested positive. So again, I guess that we would say that this is something that's moving very quickly, right? So again, they keep giving us numbers as to about the how many people have been, you know, pricked, right? But they're also giving us numbers on how many women, thousands of women that are passing away because of the prick. What does it say? I looked today, it said 32 million cases, right? Now that's just enough right there just to end it all. Because once those people get cases, or once they get these things, like, I'm just thinking about how the spread, right, is occurring. Let's not even mention, what do they even talk about stop the spread anymore, really? right? And then even if so, why are fast food restaurants still open? Why are people still door dashing? Well, I won't use those terms. Okay. I won't use those terms. Why are people still using these delivery services? It almost seems like we're hoping that there's some kind of solution or resolution or something that's going to come out of this rather than us saying enough is enough. There is enough people that they've already turned. Do those of you that realize what's really going on and how rapidly this is moving and spreading in a sense, right? If you look at all those things put together, more than the bodies are accumulating and piling up. And I don't mean this to be insensitive to anyone who thinks that they lost their family member to this particular thing, because again, we've already been told that regardless of what the person passed away from, they are having this particular dis-ease placed on the death certificate. So it could have been another cause or ailment that killed your loved one, and it was still listed as you know what. So I'm just trying to figure out was this some kind of way to get us all to be changed in a sense, or was this some kind of thing that was necessary? Again, I'm not going to look at just the gloomy parts. Maybe this is something, if you believe, you know, in a higher power, or if you believe in so-called aliens or something, maybe, even if you believe in a God, we're just asking questions, right? Could this be something that they would want to do to the populace and deliver it to us by using fear tactics in order for us to take it, in order for us to comply with it? And it seemed like it's being just dragged out way too long. And now they want children to wear, what, masks during summer camp and outside do you understand what I'm saying? And again, the only way to do, I don't understand. Because we could, somebody like me could disagree with it, not be tested, not be, you know what I'm saying? um, not be taking the prick, right? Try to stay in as much as possible, but it doesn't matter what I do, because again, those same particles could be floating down out of the skies from, trails and things like that. I'm telling you, one day I was sitting outside and I'm like, sometimes like a big kid, and I was jumping around in the trampoline, and I actually had my phone sitting next to me. Um, and I just saw like this there was a plane that went over, yeah. But then all of a sudden I noticed within the matter of minutes that there was a dusty, some kind of stuff was coming down out of the sky. I'm just laying there looking up at the sky. I said, am I tripping? But when I went to go touch my phone, it's like my fingers were going through dust, right? I mean, I'm trying to talk to y'all because, again, sometimes I think that what they're doing is not, or I know that it's not organic, but I think that there are certain of us that these tactics, they're relentless with these tactics because they know that they can't really penetrate or touch some of you in a certain way with these things. And they're looking for and trying to find a way to penetrate something within you with these particular things. And it's not just your people that are over you here where you reside. We're just using just general terms here, just so we can keep it clean. This would be a collective, if you understand what I'm saying. So there's nowhere to run and there's nowhere to hide. But we do know that there's only a small amount of those, not, we talked about the caste system a lot on this channel. You know, Just saying. We know that the number of people gets smaller, especially in power, as you go to the top. And I just feel like sometimes I just think world dominate. Now, and let's not even think about the fact that I don't know why now they're lowering the age for the prick for the children when again I thought they really had nothing to worry about. And if it's this deadly, why are the children still, I feel like I'm asking the same question that we was just asking a couple months back, even last year. Why would we even consider anything to do with the school at this point in time? Where are the bodies piled up in the street if this pandemic is the way that they say it is? Now, not to mention that there's a 97 or a 99.7, either 1% recovery rate of this particular disease. The number, we'll just say it like this in general terms because I have not checked back, but I know it was. The number or percentage for some of these pricks or vials is even less than that, 93, 95. So why would I risk now seeing that? Let's see. Let's listen to what he has to say, and then we're gonna go ahead and look at a couple things that I really thought was real funny, right? And again, there's no such thing as stopping a spread. And in order to stop the spread, you're gonna have to stop the vial. Because once you take the vial, you can either get the stuff and also then pass it on along still. And a lot of people still think or are told that they should still wear the mask. That is 100% non-effective. You see, okay, maybe I said it wrong. Okay, 0% effective, right? It's just really not. Now it's just trend. Now it's just trendy. Now it's just a statement piece at this point in time. A waste of money and time to get you to comply to restrictions that, again, let's listen to what he had to say.
Month, a total of 3,362 people apparently died after getting the COVID vaccine in the United States. 3,362. That's an average of roughly 30 people every day. So what does that add up to? By the way, that reporting period ended on April 23, and we don't have numbers past that, not quite up to date. But we can assume that another 360 people at that rate have died in the 12 days since. So you put it all together, and that is a total of 3,722 deaths. That's almost 4,000 people who died after getting the COVID vaccines. In just the first 4 months of this year, the U.S. government has recorded more deaths after COVID vaccinations than from all other vaccines administered in the United States between mid-1997 and the end of 2013. That is a period of 15 and a half years. Again, more people, according to VAERS, have died after getting the shot between late December of 2020 and last month.
Okay. So we hear what they're saying on mainstream media. You may not, again, it's up to you to use discernment, right? But there's also articles and other ways to find out this information. But then again, what is it really? I just have this sense of like the energy wants me to move forward. It's like it's going back and forth, every day where wants me to, but then again, I feel like I can do it all, right? Where one day it may be scripture, one day it may be ancient text, one day it may be something about just doing the work, uh, root work or work within myself, right? Then another time it may be speaking on something like this that is bothersome that I will be talking about behind closed doors. But I'm just speaking to you guys about it. But I think it's all adding up to, excuse me, that female aspect that I feel is coming out in women that may make some of these ruling class men fear this type of power that's going to be presented within the divine feminine, right? And so, whew, I need to take a breath because this is my birthday weekend, and I'm supposed to be having a good time. And it's almost like that whole thing of being a multi tasker and a mama, or having that mentality as a mama. You know, mm, oh, I hear the baby, so a grandma too. Which is why, again, we need to be trying to protect the children. um you know I, it just seems as though we're being boxed in. It just seems as though we're being boxed in, and nobody's really talking about these things. We're talking about what color mask we're going to wear to a function or something, and we're not really talking about, we're not getting to the root of things, and we're not taking that bird's eye view at things in the way that they're moving and manifesting it by way of manipulation. Okay, so um let's see. Oh, that's what I wanted to show you. I think I wanted to show you something about the article. Mm, let's see. Mm-mm. Hold on. I don't really need to be, I don't mean to have y'all all in my business. Some pictures that I had or screenshots that I took. Let's see. And again, just dealing with that whole aspect of not really fear, but kind of just sitting in a certain place for a certain amount of time, and not really taking the time to look back up and see what's going on in the world, because they've been so quiet, because I've been so distracted, because we not and that's what I'm saying, not just, me. I'm just, once you start talking about I, people think that you're being some kind of way. If you say we, then they say, oh, don't include me. So do you know what I'm saying? Whoever want to take this message today, like whatever. So again, somebody might say it's religious or something, but what I'm saying is that, um, just to know and stand in the fact, or just realize that there's so many things that could have happened to me thus far. But again, that's how I know, um, that I think that now is the time, and we are being protected, and we are given an allotted amount of time in order to speak on these things and to stand up. And if we don't do it within that amount of time, then we may as well forget about any type of future, because a lot of things that we've allowed them to do through fear tactics and division is going to come back and bite us in the butt. And right now, it just should be mainly about the fact that none of this stuff makes any sense, that nobody really wants to take a risk. Like, I'm okay with the 99.7, right? Percent recovery rate, right? You see, rather than gambling to take something that I really barely know anything about, that was rushed to make, that I'm going to have to keep in my body for the rest of my life, that is very questionable. And I'm also not only going to be saying that I'm taking that, but I'm going to be offering my children up. It's almost like offering, how we could look at offering the child to Baal, you know, in a sense, from a religious aspect. Because again, we could probably dig that and find something, but we're not on that right now. What we're talking about is this. But I'm just saying, for us to look at these type of things, as it may not even have to be, you may not have to use Baal. It may just be sacrificing your children up to something, and it might be this, right? See, so this is a little something that, um, I think that it would, because words are powerful. We are powerful beings. And I think that some of these things, are good affirmations or whatnot to put into place throughout the day. Because again, we're not battling against flesh and blood, right? And so, when it comes to protection of the children and things like that, because of some things that are going on in different dimensions and things like that, where um, this stuff is kind of just so new to us that we don't always know exactly how to operate. you know but right now I am at a place where this is what I'm going to start looking into, is about protection. um I have daughters, and that's just is what it is, right? And I've been the victim of some type of targeting. Okay, and so I know the feel, like, firsthand. But it says, "No weapon formed against me shall ever prosper, not today, not tomorrow. When dirt is thrown on my name, flowers will grow. I am reflective, I am protected, I am an unstoppable cosmic force." So the force is within. No, but seriously. So yeah, this is what I was gonna show you guys right here. Um, the article again, you probably already seen it some kind of way, but I kind of like the what he says about so he tested sheep and this pawpaw fruit and things like this. Um, they came back positive, right? Um, and then he wanted to call an investigation into the dirty game in the laboratory. He suggests that equipment or people may have been compromised, hinting at sabotage in the speech broadcast. Okay, so again, that's the part that I'm talking about basically right there, right? So even when we're talking about our friends and family today, targeted individuals, chosen ones, anyone, really. But again, everyone is not going to be able to see it the way that we see it and feel it the way that we feel it. They'll just be like, there still has to be a certain amount of sheep in the stable. Okay. So, no offense with that. I'm just saying how it will be. So what he's saying, this is what I'm saying about science and how they tried to use that whole trust science, right? Trust science. You saw the picket signs and things in people's yard and stuff like that. Because yes, you could trust it all you want, but if equipment or people are compromised, you can work on your trust issues all you want, but you have to still know that people, see, and equipment are sometimes compromised. And we're going to be moving, it's going to be like a more dog eat dog the further we go away from anything that is unity. The unity is key. Because we can't run at this point. We can't run and we can't hide. There's nowhere to hide. So even if you do stay in your house a lot, you're going to get mail, right? The whole time the post office ain't closed down. You hear what I'm saying? All the time Amazon ain't closed down, right? Packages coming all from all around the world, all the country. Whole nobody, not no, not one facility been overrun and they went in there and there's dead bodies all laying up and everything because everybody passed away from the thing because you understand what I'm saying? So then can we call this really a pandemic? So again, one day I feel as though, it's okay. Take what they're offering. Just, be a good girl and just speak about these particular things and don't really dabble in that stuff that you used to dabble in anymore because we have something new for you at the gates. And again, if that is the case, then let it be, let's see it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it will never stop me from it will never stop me from looking at things the way that I look at them. I see change happening. I'm not trying to be negative about everything all the time. I see somebody trying, but they're not trying hard enough. It just means they need to work harder. That's what I've been getting from the spiritual realm for a while. You just got to go harder. You got to just dig deeper, right? You know, it's time to go in, right? And then I think sometimes, like, you damned if you do and you damned if you don't. Look at this. I just pulled up this random thing. New York Times. 665,000 cases and 7,000 deaths so far in Wisconsin. Can we call this a pandemic here in Wisconsin? Can you call it that? Now we have this images here that I looked up. I just wanted to see about women who have passed away. I did a video on that and it was snatched down within minutes, even though I only have a small number of subscribers. I mean, it's just these kind of things that I question. So it says that this young pregnant Chicago woman died. She was afraid of getting vaccinated. So again, like even that headline, right? Even that headline, I see what it's saying, but I also see what it's saying. Those of us that are talking about this, those of us that are speaking out about this and don't want to get it or have not gotten it, what do they plan to do? You don't hear anyone talking about certain things anymore, like you don't hear anybody saying much about these particular places that people may be transferred to if they can't be out in the open, or they don't comply or something like that. But again, will there be at some point in time if the uh, those who were pricked overrule those who were not, or start to identify? You know how, like, on those movies, the zombie movies, they can see, or there's a certain light or something like that where you can see who, the heart, or what was that movie? Y'all know which one from back in the day. I think it was The Living Dead or something like that. But I'm just saying, like, what if there's going to be some kind of way where these people can identify and then target? And then now this other woman here died after getting it. So so it's kind of like, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. But I would just rather take the 99.7% recovery rate over all of it. But it's too late now, because even if you don't go out and get it, it's going to come and get you. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's going to come and get you. And it's not only going to be in the meat, it's going to be in the vegetables. I'm not saying this to say who and what you should eat and how you should do things. That is not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that sometimes they like to give us certain, they use divisive ways to divide us. And, we're saying, well, I do this, so I don't have to worry about it. And I do this, so I'm not going to have to worry about it. But we're not understanding that this, whatever this is, to activate or have something to do with this, it's in the air. It's in the soil to keep it charged. It's going to boil down to, yes, your health and things like that, but your makeup as well, until they hunt down every single, right, group or whatnot. And they've changed everyone or everything. And it's going to come a time when certain people that you used to deal with, you may not be able to deal with them no more, because now you see the changes. It's going to come down to what do you see now? Now you're going to see the changes. And so no matter how bad I want to not, be the bearer of this type of information, especially knowing that, it almost feels as though missiles are directed towards me and others that speak these things, because we've let ourselves get into that box, and it's almost sealed tight. It's probably just one more side they need to put the strap of tape on before it's a done deal. Before it's a done deal. So I don't know. I don't know how we got here. So I look up, like, how in the heck did we get here? And people actually taking walks around town with these things on outside, neighborhood walks. 0% effective. And I still haven't seen not one network use their platform to show people the proper, what's to wear, masks. We'll just be able to say it. And the proper way, because you cannot reuse them. The blue and white masks are not the proper masks. So at the end of the day, like, we've been bamboozled. And then for how long? For how long? How long, and what for? What are they waiting for? Again, the army of zombies is being born. These people that won't have no empathy, no sympathy, no none of this stuff. So I think that's it for today, talking about that. Like I said, it's just, I'm paying attention to this. And again, you could believe it or you don't have to, but I'm just saying, it just seemingly that you damned if you do and you damned if you don't. Oh, and this was just an image that I want to put up on my thing. I took a picture of. So anyways, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this. I didn't really want to make the video that long, but I do want to, start talking about some of these topics, because again, they do bother me. And sometimes I do feel like I was either distracted or I was, you know, um, preoccupied or something with something else. And I'm just coming into, um, you know, I don't know. I think it's something about the whole energy that's going on right now with Taurus and the luminaries. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know things that you think you see that might be different. If you see people acting strange, I don't hear that many people speaking. They might say, "Oh, this person got the thing, so I'm not really dealing with them," or things like this. But I never really hear anybody saying things that they noticed um, going on with those people that might have already been. So. Any signs or any things that we should be watching out for, at this point in time. Because again, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they're watching off in the sidelines to see who they want to further look at, to see, the last eggs in the basket that they want to gather up, the ones that have made it out thus far. So I think that at some point in time, they're going to use possibly some form of force to rip these, and again, they're listening to us right now to see who still needs, right? They're provoking us even sometimes to speak on certain topics to see where you're at, to see if you're going to be a problem or not. See, because some of us are protected, but how long? Anyway, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and join us in the Facebook group American Aborigines Unchained for more alternative information. And yeah, take care.